What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, if I look shiny, I'm telling y'all, I'm not shiny. I figured it out. I think that is the stand, the light and everything. Let me get myself together. Y'all know how Redefine me do it, y'all. I think it's the light from the stand that is making me shiny. Because I know y'all be like, Tasha be shining, 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 shining. But that is the light. So actually, let me see if I can, okay, get this together for y'all real quick. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Redefine Me channel. Okay, I think that's good. Tasha is checking in with another video, and like the description says, we are going to get into the review of Love is Blind Reunion. Okay, so this is the review for Love is Blind Reunion season 6 episode 13. We made it to the end of this wacky crazy season with these crazy folks on this show. Okay, so let's get into it. I got my notes, my trusty notes on standby if I need them. And hold up, y'all, 1 second. I got my drink. It ain't nothing in there but Crystal Light. All right, y'all, let's get started. So first, before we do anything, y'all, thank y'all for taking the time out to vibe with me on this Friday evening to come into the live. Make sure y'all go ahead and like this live. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, y'all. And go ahead, most importantly, after you finish watching it, if you're on the replay game or if you're coming through the live, go ahead and comment on the review. Okay, if I had to give this episode, this reunion, a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna say it was I think it was a 6. For me, it was a 6. I'm gonna give it a 7 because they came out of their bag swinging with a bang. And I was like, oh, they about to give it to us. They must have heard the cries of the people out there on social media. But we gonna get into it, y'all. All right, so first we open up. We have Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey. They are the hosts of the show, as you all know, and they are doing something cute. He's in his own pod, she's in her own pod, and they're up here talking as if they are contestants, for lack of better words, on the show. And they're, laughing and everything and kind of having their own little pod date. And then they go and they act like they're about to do a reveal like the real guests do on the show. And Nick is standing behind one circle, she's standing behind the other circle. It opens up and they're both like, and they run to each other a little bit, but not exactly to each other because they come around to the couch where they're going to be sitting. So I thought that was cute as a cute little opening for Nick and Vanessa. All right, so we about to jump into it. So let's get into some of the looks on the reunion. Okay, so I thought everybody looked great. I really, really did. I thought everybody looked great. My best look for the evening for the reunion was definitely Brittany. Now, I don't know why they didn't give Brittany and Kenneth their shine. They did towards the end because I was a little worried. I was like, are they not going to talk to Brittany and Kenneth? But baby, Brittany's dress was given. It was black on the side. It was blingy on both sides. She looked really cute, really elegant. I loved it. The dress I hated, the dress I hated was Chelsea's. I don't know why she chose to look like a Crayola box with some peacock feathers on the side. I don't know why I did not like it. Maybe it was a kind of a segue to her personality of being really colorful and all crazy with a hint of flair. Maybe that's what it was. But I did not like Chelsea's dress, okay? But everybody else looked amazing. And I thought it was, their outfit choices was great. All right, so to my notes. Oh, and Vanessa's dress. I love Vanessa Lachey's dress. The front of it. the top part of her dress, that black, and it was all wavy like a wave. It was so cute. I was like, okay, Vanessa, get them together on the dress, okay? So let's get into it. We open up. She asked AD. Vanessa was like, AD, you changed the color of your nails. You got a little brown going on there. And AD was like, yeah, no red on the nails, no red flags over here. I was like, child. You sit beside a red flag. All right, let's keep going. So, we open up. She also goes over to Johnny and Amy, okay? And they talked about their wedding, the first year of their wedding. Actually, they didn't talk about the first year yet. They talked about the family bonding. They show little family pictures of Amy and Johnny's family together, and they're all happy. Cool. So then we go down after them and we take a look back at the previous Love is Blind seasons. Why did they do that? Because in the audience, they had previous Love is Blind cast members. Now, I understand them wanting to bring the Love is Blind cast members out, but if the Love is Blind cast members was not going to give it to us, they should have left them people at the house. To me, they was just filling up atmosphere. Why were they there? Of course, they asked a few questions, but why didn't y'all allow them to ask some questions of their own and hold some people accountable and really get the ratings up? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say Nick and Vanessa, they did okay as hosts, but baby, they needed to take somebody else. They needed somebody to host that had have a certain level of decorum with a hint of hood, but also know how to draw it back in, gather the crowd together, and be professional, like myself. I would have loved to host the show. All right, so let's get into it. So we look back at the other seasons and all of that. That was great. Gigi from season 1. Her partner was Blake, and they are talking about their unborn child. They're like, hey, Gigi, how you doing? Because she's pregnant. They talking to her, saying that you look great with your partner and everything like that, yada, yada, yada. She wasn't important. Then we get over to the sauce. They was like, what's up, Jeremy? I said, oh, here we go. They kicked it off with Jeremy. They got all up in his face, right? Jeremy was sitting there like he was an extra from freaking, what's the movie? What is the movie? What's the movie? Scarface. Jeremy looked like an extra from Scarface. He had on a white suit, and under the white suit, he had on a Hawaiian shirt. Listen, I ain't mad at him, right? Because it kind of looks good on him, although his face looked real tired, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what was going on. He could have used a little touch of makeup, you know what I'm saying? Like men do wear makeup when they go on camera. Don't let them lie to you. We all know that. They could have gave him a little powder beat or something, some moisturizer. What was going on? I don't know what was going on with Jeremy's face. So anyway, they get to Jeremy. They ask Jeremy, how you doing? How's it going after the show and everything? He's like, it's great. They said, so are you dating anyone since the show ended? He said, yes, I'm dating someone. Been dating someone for a year. And they said, oh, really? Who is it? Let's bring out your person. Child, before they even said, let's bring out your person, I said, watch it, Sarah Ann. I said, watch it, Sarah Ann. Y'all, sure enough, doors open up. Here comes Sarah Ann out in this Pepto-Bismol pink dress. Y'all, Sarah Ann came out, and she's a beautiful girl, right? Hair was pent up, but baby, what was going on with the glitter? She has so much glitter on her skin. If y'all didn't watch the episode, just go and Google Sarah Ann, and I promise you, her picture will pop up. But you know what? The picture wouldn't do it justice. You would have to really go on Netflix and look at the very beginning when she came out. She had glitter all here, glitter all there. She looked like she was auditioning for a strip club or something. It was ridiculous, all that daggone glitter. Whoever did her makeup, did they sneeze and the glitter flew on her? Like, what is going on? I didn't like it. I thought it was tasteless and it looked childish, like a teenager or something. But anyway, so Sarah came out. They're all sitting together. Then they say, Laura sent us her location, trying to make a little joke because y'all know on the show, that was the reason why Laura and Jeremy broke up, because of the whole location thing with Sarah Ann and all of that. So Laura couldn't be there on the actual show. So they had her up on Zoom or Skype or whatever they had her on the screen, and she's coming in because she said she had to be at work. Child, I don't believe she had to be at work. If your job knew that you were going to be on Love is Blind and allowed you to take a 2 week sabbatical or 3 week sabbatical, whatever it was, you mean to tell me they couldn't give you a day off from your job? Child, that's my opinion. I don't think it was work related. I think she was just not trying to be there for whatever reason, or maybe they was trying to add more sauce to the fire. I don't know. So anyway, Laura comes up on the screen and everybody's clapping and back up. When Sarah Ann came out, no, it was like crickets. When Sarah Ann came out, people was like, "Oh, hey girl." They did a little hating on Sarah Ann. She ain't take him for real, for real. He knew he was engaged. He should have resisted Sarah Ann, but no, he really wanted to be with her. So it falls back on him, not on her, but we're going to get into it. So Laura comes on the screen, everybody all clapping and stuff. You know, hey, Laura, yeah, that's my girl. She comes up, and Vanessa asks, then after she comes up, Vanessa turns to Jeremy and she says, well, let's get started. She asks Jeremy, why would you leave your location on, especially when you know you shared it with Laura, if you knew you wasn't going to be where you were supposed to be at? I was like, uh-oh. Vanessa is swinging out the box. So then he says that he didn't have anything to hide. He said he didn't have nothing to hide. That's why he left his location on, and that's why he shared it with Laura. He didn't have nothing to hide, and so that's why he left it on. He said he told Laura right away when he got in the house. He said he went upstairs. He told her right away where he was at. And then he decided to stay in the living room or whatever he said. Laura said that's a bunch of BS. He did not tell her where he was right away. And he did not come upstairs. She said that he came in the house and he slept in the living room and that was it. Which one do y'all believe? I believe that Jeremy came in that house. He creeped up in there. Creep. He creeped in the house, closed the door. It was 5 a.m. in the morning, right? Your fiance upstairs sleep. And I believe he said, I'm just going to stay in the living room, sleep on the couch, and in the morning, I'll interact with Laura and see what she thinks about, and tell her where I was. Not knowing Laura was upstairs watching his car on the phone like it was a DoorDash delivery. She was just like, okay, oh, okay, that's where he at, so anyway, so soon as Laura said him and her and Jeremy started going back and forth, the cameraman panned over to Kwame. Kwame is with Chelsea from season 4, I think they was on. So Kwame was up there looking, he was like, uh-oh. He was like, uh-oh, it's about to get spicy. So Laura said he never apologized for what he did. She says, and even after all of this, he never apologized. Sarah Ann said Laura called her the pick-me girl. And so Sarah Ann confronted Laura and said, don't be calling me the pick-me girl. I ain't no pick-me girl. You a pick-me girl. And they started going back and forth a little bit and all of that. Chelsea goes and chimes in with looking like a peacock. Go ahead and says, well, I ain't never stay up till 5 a.m. in the morning just talking. And I'm like, Chelsea, I bet. Ain't nobody need her 2 cents. You gonna have your time to get roasted in a minute, but did she really? Okay, let's get into it. So Vanessa asks, did they kiss? Vanessa said, when you were with Sarah Ann till 5 a.m. in the morning, did y'all kiss? I said, Vanessa, you better give them the questions. Y'all, he says, and Sarah Ann says, no, they did not kiss. Let me tell y'all something. If I'm with the opposite sex, somebody that I love, right? Somebody that I have a infatuation for, somebody that I really, really like, somebody I see it for. If I'm with the opposite sex till 5 a.m. in the morning, child, we not playing pinochle or chess or Uno or Bible study or none of that. My mom always said ain't nothing open after midnight but legs. And so 5 a.m. in the morning, listen, we already know y'all kissed or did something. But they said they didn't. So Laura said at no point did she ever think that they would not get married. Laura said she had so much high hopes for her and Jeremy. She never thought that they would never get married. She said they talked about it all the time. They checked in with each other. You good, I'm good, we get married, our family's coming, and all of that. Then they pan over and they show unseen footage of Laura and Sarah Ann having a conversation at the lake, the infamous lake on season 12, right? So basically the conversation was Sarah Ann apologizing to Laura, telling her that she meant no malicious ill intent in her relationship. She said she sent Jeremy a messenger message to let him know that, hey, if anything ever changes in your situation, I would love to get to know you. But Sarah Ann, that's not what the message said, and that's not how it came across, and that wasn't how it came across. Moving on. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, okay, with the message. She said she did not send it with vindication in her heart. She said she didn't send that. Laura said he was the one that proposed, so he is the one that's responsible. And I agree with Laura on this point. He's the one that proposed to Laura. So even if Sarah Ann sent butt naked booty pictures through the messenger, he could have looked at it and said, He could have told Laura right away. He could have said no. He could have responded to Sarah Ann, do not send this to me. I am engaged. But no, Jeremy left the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. Jeremy left the door open for Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann left the door open for Jeremy, and then they both end up getting together, y'all. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Laura said he was only concerned about his image and how he wanted to make sure he didn't look worse than Jimmy. Then the camera pans to Jimmy, and Jimmy like, how the heck did I get in this, right? Because y'all know they feel like, I guess Jimmy looked worse because he had this really strong connection with Jess, and then ended up turning around and choosing Chelsea. And so Jeremy was like, I was not concerned about that. I don't know what you're talking about. Jeremy trying to keep his good relationship with his bro Jimmy, and she up here trying to put it on blast. Jimmy then says, he chimes in the conversation. Jimmy says that Jeremy said he could sleep at night knowing that Jimmy is the villain. And this is what he said, I guess, in the men's quarter. And I'm like, how is really Jimmy the villain? But I guess. So then Chelsea said, Sarah. So then Vanessa says, do you follow all of the women on the cast? Like, do you have a friendship with the women? And then Chelsea said, Sarah Ann unfollowed all the women, but she is following all of our fiancés. So Chelsea tried to put out there that Sarah Ann is a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Hoe? Because she done followed all of them, but she's still following their men. I said, child. And Sarah Ann says, because y'all didn't include me. Y'all left me out. Soon as this situation happened, y'all put me on the outskirts. And I could actually see that happening. You know what I'm saying? That they put her out because they felt like she reached out to a man that was off limits, that didn't choose her. Chelsea said, they said, have y'all seen Jeremy? Any of the cast members seen him out? Chelsea said, oh yeah, we definitely see him out. She said that every time she sees Jeremy, this is Chelsea, say every time she sees Jeremy, they are broken up. Jeremy said that they have had their ups and downs, but they are still together. They just moved in together. So Chelsea tried to throw some shade, but Jeremy says, yeah, every relationship has their ups and downs, but we're together. We live together right now. Then we get to Nick. Nick asked Sarah about being in Jeremy's home and her coming out with a video saying that this is reality TV, is meant to entertain, and we didn't miss with this one, baby. So basically, Nick, in my opinion, Nick Lachey got mad because, and he didn't get mad like he showed it, but he got mad because Sarah Ann put the narrative out there that this reality show is fake, that this is not real life, that this is entertainment purposes for the public. And Nick wanted to clarify. He wanted to clarify that this is not a fake show. I'm sorry, y'all, if I had to do this, but I felt like my hair was like weighing down a little bit, so I'm gonna put it up front. I don't like it that way though, but I don't know why I just felt like it was weighed down for a second, but it hasn't been all day. So anyway, Nick wanted to make sure that he clarified that the narrative that Sarah Ann was trying to paint about the show being fake and not being real life is not what they stand on at Love is Blind. He says that these are people real lives. People come on here. He said him and Vanessa have believed in the process from the very beginning, and people come on here to find a significant other and they believe in this show. And Sarah Ann basically said the video that she put out saying that this is for entertainment and we didn't disappoint you, baby, was just for her own personal entertainment. Basically, like her putting out something on her social media or whatever. Child, they was roasting the mess out of Jeremy and Sarah Ann. And I'm like, I understand why they was kind of giving them the smoke, but at the same time, I don't. Because at the end of the day, it didn't work. First of all, let's just put it out there. Laura is a mean girl. She is a mean girl. I have not liked Laura during the whole show. However, Jeremy did ask Laura to marry him. He chose her. So he should have stayed committed and faithful to Laura. I think what happened, in my opinion, and I've said this in my reviews in the past, I think that when Laura sent that message, even though she said she did not mean it with ill intent, right? Jeremy took that message, put it in his back pocket, and was like, okay, so if Laura get out of pocket, I'm going to go hook up with Sarah Ann and see what's up. And I believe on the night in question that him and Laura maybe wasn't in a good space. He knew Sarah Ann was going to be out at a certain karaoke bar. He went out there and the rest is history. I think that's what happened. I believe that's what happened. So if anything, they ended up being a better match for each other. The way they went about doing it was not okay, but I believe that y'all could have gave other cast members more smoke than just Jeremy, Sarah Ann, and Trevor. And we're going to get to that next. Laura says from the screen, remember Laura was on the Zoom screen, she said her 96-year-old grandmother, Mama, she had her plane ticket ready to come to the wedding and her whole family was ready, and then she had to let them know days later that they were broken up and that he was running off into the sunset with Sarah Ann. And she said that made her feel a certain type of way. Hold on, y'all. Drink break. Oh my God. Y'all gotta get some Crystal Light. If y'all don't listen to nothing else I say, get some Crystal Light. Crystal Light is so good. It's only 5 calories, y'all, and it is so good. The lemonade one is my favorite. All you do is put it in your water bottle, shake it up, and it's really good over some ice. I got some ice in my little cup. Some ice in my cup. Woo, it's so good. It's so refreshing. Anyway, back to the review. Commercial break. So Sarah Ann, we get back to her. She apologizes again to Laura. This is like the 40th apology. And then Jeremy apologizes to Laura again. And Laura is like, that's all I've been waiting for. Laura, you have been waiting a whole year for these people to apologize to you. That's crazy to me. But she says that's all she wanted. Then Nick and Vanessa asked Laura, are you dating anyone? And she was like, yeah. So Laura's dating someone. And then they were about to say goodbye to Laura because is late where she is, and Laura says, wait a minute, we're not going to address the bean dip situation. So Laura goes ahead for the 90th time and tries to clear up the bean dip situation. Y'all know on the show, she dared Jeremy to go and bean dip AD. AD is the African American woman on the show with the body yaddy yaddy. And so Jeremy said he wasn't going to do it, and it turned into this big old thing. If y'all don't know what bean dip is, bean dip means when somebody goes up to man or woman and flips them like this on their nipple. On their nipple. I don't know why anyone want to do that. So Laura was apologizing, and in my thinking, it was disrespectful. It was very disrespectful you to tell your man to go do that to a woman. To do it to anybody, but to tell your man to go and embarrass this woman and do that to her, that was not okay. But Laura felt like she had to clear it up. She said she apologized to AD. She apologized to Clay. She loves everybody. She didn't mean it that way. She meant it as a joke and everything and all of that. And they was like, all right, Laura girl, we're going to talk to you later. You already apologized 89,000 million times. Bye. We got to move on. So we move on to the next person, which was Trevor. They said we gonna bring out Trevor. Yeah, when Trevor came out, Trevor looked like he was about to go to Bible study. I said, what is wrong with Trevor's clothes? He had a daggone picnic shirt. The mullet was mulleting. He trying to grow the mullet back, right? And had on some daggone Dockers or Dickies or whatever you call them pants, them daggone tan pants. And came out there. Everybody else was in a suit. You know, the women was glittering. Everybody looked like they was about to go to prom or some type of upscale event. You know what I'm saying? And he came out there like he did not get the memo. Like the email got lost or something. I was like, Trevor, what in the child? Anyway, even if I was going to be on stage for 5 minutes, let me tell you something. I was going to be on there 5 minutes, killing it, eating it. You weren't going to catch me on there for 5 minutes looking like a daggone Sunday school teacher and the rest of y'all looking all glammed up and everything. Oh, no, no, no. Even if I had a 5-minute time frame, I was going to be on there. Even the former cast members in the audience looked better than him, and they wasn't even on the season. Anyway, we get to Trevor. Trevor came out. And Vanessa asks about the screenshots between him and his girlfriend. Now, if y'all don't know, it came out on social media that Trevor had a girlfriend going into this process. Going into the process, he had a girlfriend. And Vanessa said, we about to call you out and make an example of you. And so she called him out and said, she brought up the screenshots of him and his girlfriend on the screen. And her and Nick took turns reading the screenshots, right? I thought that was funny because they was reading every single one of them. And the more they read, the worse it got. So while, hold on. He was texting her on the way to the show and after the show. He was saying that he loved her. He was saying he's going to do what he had to do to make it appear real on the show. He says, she asked him, did he land already? He said he did land. This was when he was going to the show. When he got rejected, he then reached back out to her and says that he loves her and he's going to marry her and all this other stuff. So after that, Vanessa was basically like, Trevor, what do you have to say for yourself, right? Trevor sat there like this. I was like, Trevor, what's going on? So here goes AD. She chimes in talking some, don't be silent now. Say it with your chest. I was like, AD, mind your business because you're going to have your time. Mind your business and stay over there with your red flag. You know what I'm saying? So then, Trevor said he had a whole speech prepared to answer this question, but I guess he drew a blank, right? So then, hold on, y'all. I take notes. Y'all know I'm flipping the pages. So then Nick asked him why he was trying to get it together. Nick asked, why would you say you love your girlfriend and then continue with the process? And that's what I want to know. Like, at the end of this process, if you chose somebody, say for example, like they gave an example on this reunion. They said, what if you chose Chelsea? What if everything worked out? He said that his girlfriend knew that if he chose Chelsea, that he was going to be with her. He told the girlfriend that. I said, I think he's lying. He said that the relationship with the girlfriend was toxic and he didn't want to be in it anymore. He let her know if he had found someone there that he was going to be with them and not with her. And he was just full of crap. I think Trevor was full of crap. He came on here and Nick was like, did you come on here to be like, get your followers up, be some type of celebrity or whatever? And he's like, a celebrity and what? Well, he said, further your TV career. And he's like, TV career and what? And I'm like, yeah, I ain't never seen Trevor in nothing. But I understood what Nick was trying to say. Were you trying to come on there to get clout? Because if you got a girlfriend, no matter how toxic she is, you didn't break up with her before the show. So why do we believe that y'all were over now? So then Trevor said he told his girlfriend, yeah, if he met someone, he would choose them. Got to that. Amy then goes and chimes in. Amy said, were you more hurt of leaving Chelsea or leaving the show? And the whole crowd was like, ooh. I was like, the crowd is hyping it up. So, he said says, I was more hurt of leaving Chelsea. Of course he's going to say that. Then he goes and says, well, can I leave the stage? Like, Trevor was like, okay, this smoke was a little bit too much smoky. Okay, y'all got a cigarette lit under me. Can I leave the stage? And they kept on asking him questions like they didn't even see or hear him say he wanted to leave the stage. So Vanessa said, did you come on here to be famous on TV? He said, what career? I didn't come on here to be famous for TV. So she doubled down on that question. Trevor again wanted to leave, and Nick was like, yeah, you can leave. But then Nick still asked him a question. Nick said this show is real. That's when he goes and gives his rant about the show is real. You shouldn't come on there motivated by fame. And he said it's wrong for you to do that. He says people really are on here trying to find love and get married. He says we do have couples that are still married. This is proof that the process works. And then he told Nick, and now you can leave. He said, after we ask you questions and roast you a little bit, now you can leave. Then we get to AD. Vanessa asks, how's it been after the process to AD? AD said it was a lot of weeks before they spoke. So, of course, they spoke. AD gets on my nerves. Clay gets on my nerves. AD more than Clay because this man made a fool of you. He freaking rejected you at the altar. And you allowed him to even text your phone. Baby, the way my block finger would have been blocking the mess out of Clay as soon as I finished crying in the bridal quarters on the last episode and I got in the car and everything and I'm mad, I would have took my phone out and bleep, blocked the mess out of Clay. But no, she didn't do that because the man still had her, which is weird. She said, who reached out to who first? Before Vanessa even asked that question, I already knew that Clay reached out to her first. And she said that. She said, Clay reached out to me first. I said, oh, baby, I know. Because men are going to do that. Let me tell y'all a sidebar. When my ex broke up with me, the ex I had before I met my husband, I was going about my business. I was getting over him. I had met my husband a week after he broke up with me, and I was on to something else bigger and better and newer, and I was loving it. Come Valentine's Day, right? I was all cute, you know what I'm saying? I posted a picture on social media, and here comes my ex reaching out. Of course, they always do that. When a man break up with you, and this is a sidebar for coming from a woman's perspective, when a man breaks up with you, he always going to reach back out. He always going to reach back out because he's trying to see if he still got you or if it's still a chance. And I gladly let my ex know it is not a chance. I have moved on. Baby, goodbye. So moving on, AD said it was tough to watch the wedding back. She said it was tough to watch her heart get broken and all of that and blah, blah, blah. Clay again started giving his speech, his sales pitchy speech that he gives. He started talking about what AD does for him and how he's a better person because of interacting with her. He then goes on and says that he's in therapy now and he's trying to get himself together and all of that, yada, yada, yada. In my opinion, Clay, actions speak louder than words. You can say a lot of this, but if you ain't showing that you changed, I don't believe it. What else? He also had the nerve to say that AD is the love of his life. How is AD the love of your life when you told her no at the altar? I mean, if it's the love of your life, why didn't you marry the girl? I don't understand that. He said he made a mistake by saying no at the altar. And then AD's over there like, I said, girl, don't fall for this crap. It's only been a year. He needs years of therapy. And so does AD. Like, let's not leave her out. Because you allowed a man to play with you. People only do what you allow them to do. So not only does Clay need therapy, but AD needs therapy as well. Vanessa asked AD, would she date Clay again? And she was like, and then she looks back at him and she's like, next question. I'm like, girl, you should have just said yes. Because she would date him again. And rumor mill is that they were seen together and have seen each other and have hung out with each other since the show. So, Then they asked Clay, and of course he said absolutely yes and all this stuff. And she's like, oh, what? I'm like, girl, see, that's why your goofy tail got humiliated like you did on the show, because you sitting up here eating up everything this man tells you. Child, bye. AD said, to Clay. All of a sudden, she grew some lady balls. And she gonna say to Clay, you had your chance, but you played in my face. You knew you didn't want to be married. And Clay goes and says that's not true. I, for once, agree with AD. Clay played in her face. He did have his chance with her, and he did know he didn't want to be married. He knew that the trauma from his mother and father's relationship affected him so much so that he was not ready to be married. He knew that. He could have let AD down before they even got to the altar for real, and not wasting her time. But anyway, moving on. He said that he was getting diagnosed on camera. He didn't like that as a red flag dude or a person that has daddy issues. I was like, Clay, where did the diagnosis go wrong at though, sir? You are a red flag still, in my opinion, and you do have daddy issues. Now, I applaud Clay for going and seeking professional help and trying to get himself together. I think that is admirable of him. However, he is not ready to be in a relationship with anybody, and definitely not ready to be with AD. He should not be with another woman. He needs to take a couple of years of therapy. I think 2.5, maybe even 3. He needs to go to family therapy as well with his father and his mother, because people keep hopping on his dad being the reason why he liked this because of the infidelity trips that his dad took him on and all of that. No, no, no. It takes 2 to tango. His dad and his mom is very much the reason why Clay is the way that he is. His dad showed him how not to treat a woman, took him on infidelity trips, never spent time with him, never poured into him. But the mom, on the other hand, sat there and showed Clay that a woman would deal with anything from you if you take care of her, if you bring in money in the house, and if you talk a good game. And that is what Clay was showing on the show. So both of them parents is wrong. I'm sick of people up here giving a mom praise like she is some type of mother of the year or something. I ain't saying she not a good mom, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's keep it 100. She stayed there and dealt with this man cheating on her. He started cheating on her at year 7, and you dealt with him for 16 more years. And do not tell me that you didn't know this man was cheating. Come on now, lady. Come on. Anyway, moving on. What else? Clay said he was and is now ready. Right? He said he's ready to be married and he's ready to be a good man now because he went and did the work. I think that's a lie. I don't think he's ready. He is not ready at all. And I'm going to tell y'all why I know he's not ready. Nix asked about Clay's mom and dad conversation. AD said their conversation made her know that it was nothing that she could have done that was going to help Clay be a better person at that time. Clay isn't ready, y'all, and this is my belief, because he still feels like his dad is a good father. He said his dad is a good father. He has poured into him. He was a great husband. He said they had a great relationship. I said, what kind of therapy are you getting, Clay? Because this man is not a great father. He was not a great father to you at the time. Now, I believe people can change, right? I really do believe that. It takes time. It takes work. It takes, most importantly, God. And I believe people can change. But from what we saw from his dad has not done any work. He just became an older fool. He has not changed. The stuff that he said to him on his wedding day, they was talking about track and field, and he was giving him affirmations and all of this stuff. He was not pouring into him what he needed to know to be a great husband. Because he don't know how to be a great husband. He didn't have that. Remember, he said his father wasn't that. You know, so it's just crazy to me that Clay still thinks in his mind that his father was a great dad and a great father, the whole nine. I'm like, no, he wasn't. What is wrong? So then Clay said that season 4, Brett, who was in the audience, was his example of a good husband, and he was a stand-up guy. He gave Brett some flowers. Brett was just like, wow, he appreciates that. First of all, pause. Before we get to what Brett said, what was up with Brett's shoes? Brett looked real nice from here on the way down to the ankles, and then all of a sudden he had these funky looking tennis shoes on. I said, what's up with the high top kicks, Brett? Why did you mess up your outfit with that? I ain't understand that. But if it's his style, if he like it, child, whatever, let's keep it pushing. Brett responded to Clay and he thanked Clay for his words. He said he didn't come from a great Listen to this, y'all. Brett told Clay he didn't even come from a great household. He didn't have great examples in his household. And he said he was concerned about how he was going to show up for his wife, right? During the process. This is what Brett said. But let me tell you the difference between Brett and Clay. The difference is Brett had a tragic situation that happened to him growing up, and he decided to make up in his mind that he wasn't going to be like that example of a relationship, that he was going to be the opposite. Then Clay, on the other hand, saw a tragic relationship growing up, and he decided that he was going to idolize his dad because he felt like his dad was suave, and he wanted to be like his dad. See, two toxic, horrible situations of relationships, but two totally different outcomes. That's like, for example, somebody who grew up in the hood around drugs all the time. They either one, go and be a drug dealer, or they either two, turn and try to help the community and rid the community of drugs. See, you can have two toxic situations and have two totally different outcomes, right? And that was the difference between Clay and Brett. Then we get down to Johnny and Amy, child. They show highlights of their first year of marriage. They showed a little funny video with Johnny and Amy. Johnny was cooking. He had his hands down to his side. Amy's hands came out to the side like that. And that was kind of cute, kind of funny. They showed New Year's Eve with them and everything. They showed them going to, I think, Paris, or even taking a photo shoot of some Paris backdrops or something. I don't know. But they look happy and all of that. Moving on. Vanessa asked them, had they had their first drag out fight, right? And Amy says, we haven't had a fight. I mean, they both said it's been pretty great. I mean, they've had disagreements, but no drag out fights. And pause. I understand what Amy was saying. Me and my husband have been married now for almost 2 years, and we have not had no drag out blowout fights. Really, throughout me and my husband's whole relationship, we have not had no drag out blowout fights. Have we had disagreements? Absolutely. But we're able to talk to one another and express how each other feels, and then we can better understand the situation, and we have more peace in the situation. So I understood what Amy was saying. We get down to questions, okay? Former cast members that was in the audience are going to ask viewer questions. I don't know what viewers they got these questions from. They didn't get one of my questions. They probably had a lot of crazy questions, and they had to get the questions that were acceptable for the show. So Jess in the audience, Jess had the first question from from a cast member, former cast member. And the question was, what does Autumn think about the show, and did you let her watch it? She said that she didn't realize Autumn never seen her cry. I said, Jess, you were her mother. So you mean to tell me you can't remember if you ever cried in front of Autumn? Are you crazy? Girl. She said you have to suck it up as a parent and cry in private. I understood that part of what she was saying. She said she did not let her watch the show. She said she thought the show was great. I'm like, how did she think the show is great? You probably told her you was going to come back with the man because of the way you look. So you thought you was going to come back with a man, but you didn't. So how did she think the show was great, Jess? I just want to know. Then Gigi asked the question to Johnny. A viewer wanted to know, I'm confused, were condoms not an option? And that was probably one of the questions I wanted to know, because they kept acting like that a vasectomy or birth control or all these other extreme measures were necessary and not just simply using a condom. So then he responds. He says he didn't know about birth control. And then she says she never went on birth control. Amy says this. She says he never, thank you for the hearts, never had a vasectomy, and she chooses what to do with her body. My thing is this. How is Amy and Johnny ready to be married, let alone parents and have sex? They don't even know about birth control and simple stuff that you learn in 5th grade sex ed. I was just like, what is going on? How do you not know about birth control, Johnny? Listen, you may not know every single thing about birth control, vasectomy, condoms, things like that. But at your big age, you should at least know the basics of it. You should know something about it. Between him and Amy, they don't know nothing. They need to use condoms because they not ready. I was like, child, whatever. So we get to Chelsea. Chelsea, hold on. Chelsea, did you think the Okay, so somebody asked Chelsea, did she think that the conversation with Laura and Jess was okay concerning her relationship with Jimmy? Of course, Chelsea said she didn't think that conversation was okay between them two. She said she was over here fighting for her relationship while they were over here condemning their relationship, and she didn't like that. Chelsea said her and Jess are cool now. They actually BFFs. And I said, how the heck did that happen? How is that possible? Jess says that even her daughter Autumn calls Chelsea Auntie Chelsea. I said, what? I said, yeah, okay. Then it was a question for Sarah Ann. Somebody said, does Jeremy share his location? I was like, child. And she didn't answer it. They kind of just laughed it off. Jimmy, they had a question for him. What did his friends think about Chelsea sharing the secret? So Jimmy, when they asked that question, he was like, oh, I knew this was about to happen. So y'all already know on the show, Jimmy slept with one of his friends that's a female, right? One of his female friends. And Chelsea shared it on the show, but Jimmy told her in confidence. Jimmy says, hold on. Jimmy says that his friends were there to support him, and they were hurt when they found out that Chelsea had revealed that he slept with one of them on the show. He says she still hangs out with her ex, and he said, how can Chelsea feel away when she still hangs out with his ex? Chelsea says, I don't hang out with my ex. She was about to explode. Jimmy had to dial it back. He was like, okay, look, well, maybe I misunderstood you. We did a lot of misunderstanding and mishearing each other. He said he should have let her go after she revealed the thing about him sleeping with the friend. And here's my thing with him sleeping with one of his friends. You are engaged to a woman, and you have two girls that are your friends. Now, he said he has guy friends too, right? But he says he can't cry and get vulnerable with his guy friends. He can only do that with his girlfriends. And I'm like, I get that, Jimmy, but you're engaged, soon to be married to this woman. Did you think she was really going to be cool with you having two friends as girls that you text, hang out with on a regular basis? Drinks can get flying, anything can happen, and then y'all end up having the sex? And then you think she gonna be cool with that? Baby, if my husband would have said he had two friends that were girls and that he still hung out with them, we would not be married today. I'm like, oh no, sir, you either going to choose. It's either going to be me or them girlfriends. Because as y'all know, he already slept with one of them. So of course it probably was a drunken night and they had sex. Who's to say that couldn't happen again? So in one time, I give Chelsea, I see things in her viewpoint, because that's kind of crazy for you to still have that. But also, Chelsea has a male friend that she conversates with. And Chelsea, you can't burn Jimmy for what he's doing or having a relationship with his two girlfriends, and then you still have a relationship with your ex. So you make it make sense. Both of y'all needed to cut that off, but they didn't, and that's why they not together. Jimmy, after that whole situation, he touched Chelsea's leg and said everything okay and stuff. And I'm like, okay, what's up with the touchy feely? Are y'all still talking or what? So then Jess said Jimmy has a part of her, and she feels she will never get that back from him. He still has a part of her. Nick says, asks Jimmy, did he choke when he saw Jess? Jimmy then responds and says, you know what, Jess, you're a beautiful woman, and you know you're beautiful. Here's Chelsea. I was like, what was that? The eye roll, but y'all supposed to be BFFs. Jess said she thought, she said that Chelsea and her are BFFs, but she thought that her and Jimmy were friends, right? But Jimmy did an interview recently saying that Jess hammered him about their connection and that she stormed out of their last date 10 minutes after it started. Okay. I agree with Jimmy to a certain extent on that interview. I feel like Jess tried to manipulate Jimmy just like Chelsea tried to manipulate him. Chelsea tried to manipulate Jimmy, and which she achieved it by saying she looked like Megan Fox. And then Jess tried to manipulate Jimmy by giving him this beautiful vow written letter stating what she would imagine her husband would be like, what she wants her husband to be like, and Jimmy is all of those things, the whole nine. So both of them tried to win the game with Jimmy and ended up hurting themselves both, because in the end nobody won the game. They both lost. What else? So then they showed the last date of Jess and Jimmy, and the date went on for longer than 10 minutes. First time they was in the ponds, they was in there for an hour and something. That went on. Then they took an 8-minute break and came back and was in there for another 50 minutes. Okay, so the total, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so the total date was 2 hours and 13 minutes that they were together in them ponds. I said, dang, y'all was talking all that time? I can't talk to nobody for no 2 hours. And they did say that some of the people that I've been, cast members that have come out from the show did say that they edited, so we only get a certain portion of their date, right? Because there's no way that the show could allow them to talk for 2 hours and something minutes. The show would be long as crap and nobody would be willing to sit for that. So they had to, edit it down and only show a portion of the date. But I didn't know that they'd be in them pods for 2 hours or more talking to these people. So Vanessa talked about Chelsea's comparison to Megan Fox. That came up. Chelsea said it was a silly comment, but she is proud of herself for handling all the feedback from social media and the public. I'm like, girl, you ain't had no choice. I believe Chelsea cried at a couple of them things, because when she said Megan Fox, I mean, immediately the memes, the social media, the YouTube content creators, everybody came out and dragged Chelsea. So, she had no choice but to handle it. Then they get to showing this crappy baby shower from season 4's Zach and Bliss. Why? We're on season 6. Why do we need to see the baby shower? They could have cut that out and asked some hard-hitting questions that we all wanted to know. They are expecting, another couple is expecting, which is Alexa, and I forgot her husband's name from another season. So it's about 3 pregnant people that's expected within the Love is Blind show. Then Alexa comes and asks, did Brittany and Kenneth, she asked a question to Brittany and Kenneth. She said, did y'all want to just do it to see if it could create the crave? I thought that was a stupid question from a viewer, and I don't know why they chose to ask that. You think that sex is going to create an attraction between 2 people. Yeah, it may create some relief of tension. It may create some chemistry in the bed, but after the sex is over, then what do you have? And I don't understand why they let that question even fly. But Brittany said she didn't want to test that out to figure out if there was a connection between her and Kenneth. Yeah, the cameraman petty, because as soon as she said she didn't want to test that out to see if there was connection, the cameraman panned the AD and Clay. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I caught that. And then Kenneth, hold on, y'all, hold on. Okay, so then Nick asks Kenneth, why were you on your phone so much when y'all got back? He was like, everybody was yelling at the screen to get off of your phone. And Kenneth said he was on his phone so much because he is a principal of a school, and he had to get in touch with his students and parents and staff because he loves his job so much and blah, 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 everything about his job. He said he was trying to find a way to balance both, and that was a lie, because most of the time on the show, we saw him in his phone. He was not trying to find a way to balance both. If anything, I felt like he was talking really reckless to Brittany several times. He wasn't trying to have a connection with her. Y'all just got together. Like, what's her middle name? What's her favorite food? What do you like doing for fun? Let's set up some game nights and all that stuff. Like, get to know each other if you're trying to marry somebody and spend your life with them. But again, we forget that Kenneth is only 25 years old. He is of the generation where they are all up in their phones. Hey, Melody, welcome to the live. Thank you for joining. So Kenneth is young. He's the generation that's up in their phones. They don't know how to communicate. This is why when they went on a boat date, it was complete silence. He was looking off into the distance. Brittany wasn't saying much. She was trying to have a conversation with him because this generation without their phones is lost. They don't know how to hold a conversation, and that's how Kenneth is. What else? Brittany says they did after everything happened, after they broke up, right? Get this, y'all. Ooh, I didn't kick the daggone tripod. My bad. So get this, y'all. They still talk every day. Every single day, her and Kenneth talk. How is it that y'all couldn't talk on the show and y'all were engaged? Now all of a sudden every day y'all got a conversation for each other. I don't understand that. So they say if they do end up meeting somebody outside of each other, then they're going to give that respect and not talk to each other so much. But that's only if they meet somebody. But in my opinion, if you spending all your time on the phone with Kenneth, where can you go out and really meet somebody that you could see if y'all connect and have a future with? I don't get that. Moving on. They said they talked about. Oh, okay. I already said the partner thing. So then we move on to Matt, right? They asked the question about Matt. They offered Matt to come to the show. Matt declined. Matt said, I'm not coming to the show, so y'all can ask me any questions. Matt, they was like, did Matt tell AD and Amber the same thing? So then AD acting all crazy and Clay sitting there looking all mad, like. So they asked AD, did she go out with Matt after the show, right? Back up before we get to that part. They showed Matt talking to both AD and Amber in the pause, and he basically did tell them the same thing. He said it in different ways, but he was saying kind of the same thing. And pause. When you get to know somebody, you do kind of say the same things, right? Like your age, where you from, if you got any children, what's your hobbies, things like that. But Matt was saying things that was making promises to them, how he felt about them, that really once you get with the person, that should be your thoughts and feelings for one particular person. So he was basically trying to win the race too. So then they asked AD, did she go out with Matt after the experience? AD said yes, she went out with Matt. So a dude that played in your face with your dead father, because her father is deceased, and he told us, well, I would ask your father's hand in marriage and blah, 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 blah. He played with you and Amber, told y'all the same thing, gaslit both of y'all, and you still went out with Matt after the show. AD needs therapy. She is such a pick-me chick, and it's crazy because she's not an ugly girl, right? She's not cute in the face like that. Okay, let's just keep it 100. She not. Everybody, if you come on here, you throw stones, and you say, how could you say she's not cute in the face? Listen, her body is cute. She has a nice shape. However, her face card is not that great. Listen, if you're going to keep it 100, keep it 100. And I'm not saying she's ugly, but in real talk, AD needs the makeup professionally done and everything for her to look like something. In my opinion. And in other people's opinion. If you go out on YouTube, any other social media platform, they will say the same thing about AD. She has a nice shape, but her face card, it ain't all that. She said she went out with Matt once he was trying to apologize to her about everything that had happened within the past, and then the second time she went over his house. You went over this man's house, you don't even know him. She said he cooked her some chicken and rice, but the way she said it was like it wasn't really good, but you went over there, so whatever. Let's see, moving on. She said when she did see Matt, right, she said he was cute. And she's talking about respectfully touching Clay. I said, why are you respectfully touching him? Y'all not together. If he cute, he cute. What's the problem? Child. So then Chelsea, one of the cast members from previous season, is going to now be doing the casting or part of Love is Blind. Her husband is Kwame. Shout out to Kwame. I didn't know Kwame was from DC. Shout out to my DC brother. Then we get to they're talking to other past cast members, talking about Izzy and Micah is going to be on the next season of Perfect Match. I don't know what Perfect Match is. I've never watched it. Drop in the comments if y'all watch Perfect Match. Jess is also going to be on there as well. Not shocking. Micah says it's hard. They asked, do you and Jess have a relationship? Her and Jess are now really close and cool friends. Micah made a comment and she goes and says it's kind of hard for me to believe that Jessica, being as beautiful as she is, has a heart of gold and is a nice person. So what you trying to say? Women that are attractive and are cute are horrible people? Is the B word? Is not nice? Does not have a heart of gold? Like, I was like, Micah, what the heck you mean, girl? So anyway, after that, nothing else happened. They said we're going to show y'all again that we feed our cast members, because they had a whole little smorgasbord full of food that I felt like they could have kept in the back, like after the show. That was so tasteless, right? After everything had ended and they wrapped it up and said, thank y'all. Hold on, y'all. This cheers kind of get on my nerves. After they wrapped up everything and said, thank y'all for joining us for Love is Blind season 6 reunion, blah, blah, blah. They said, let's eat. And they had all this food laid out. Now, y'all know Love is Blind has been, they had something in the past, a lawsuit, a cast member said they didn't feed them or something like that. So in this season, they made sure they showed food every chance they could get. The cameraman was like, get that food, get that food, get that food, food in the pots, food everywhere. In my opinion, I felt like if they wanted to celebrate the ending of the season, they could have did that backstage, had a nice little spread set up for them and everything. We didn't need to see that. I said, y'all are ghetto. But y'all, that was it. That was it for season 6, Love is Blind, episode 13, the reunion. Y'all let me know how y'all thought about it in the comments. Go ahead and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the Redefine Me channel if you haven't already done so. We have a great time over here. I do a lot of different reviews, a lot of different shorts, a lot of different videos. I try to constantly give y'all great content to pour into your lives in a fun, happy, easy breezy way, redefining what it means to have a soft life, to really have fun in this generation that we live in, with so much stuff that come at us all the time. We're just trying to get through life with the softness, with the easiness. We know things are going to come, but we want to kiki con. We want to, have just a soft way of handling this generation. And I feel like that's what my channel aims to give to you all. All right, y'all. So thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and get up off of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday night, or whenever you all are watching this review. Go ahead and drop in the comments what couple you think is still kicking it with each other. And you know what I didn't like too? Last pointer. They missed out on a lot of hard-hitting questions. They didn't hold Chelsea accountable. They didn't hold Jimmy accountable. They really didn't hold Kenneth accountable for real. Who else? Yeah, those people. There was a lot of questions. Like, I wanted to know from Jimmy, why did you take Chelsea out on this beautiful day that y'all had an amusement park, only to break up with her at the end of the amusement park date? Like, why did you not break up with her when the secret had came out about you sleeping with one of your girlfriends? Why would you take her, have this great day, then break up with Chelsea? I didn't understand that. Like, I wanted them to ask some more hard-hitting questions that they did not ask the cast. And I really didn't like the way that they did. They came out swinging like they was going to ask these hard-hitting questions. They came out swinging with punches. But as it went on, they could have dropped some of the stuff off in the reunion. Like, we didn't need to see the baby shower. We really didn't need the other cast members to comment and say nothing. All of that y'all was doing to fill up the time, y'all could have used that to really dig deep and allow the viewers to ask some questions. Like, maybe get questions, go live and get questions from viewers that's watching. Get questions from the audience members that was there or something, because the former cast wasn't asking them, and it was a lot of stuff that we as the viewers wanted to know. Like, why AD did you keep on wearing them tarantula looking lashes? And who the heck did your hair in the pause? Like, stuff we want to know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, that's my review of season 6, Love is Blind, episode 13, The Reunion. Go ahead again, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. I'm about to get up off here. Bye, y'all.